Well, how's it going? Mark Duffy, welcome to my channel. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Osee Mega 15S Megatron. And no, it's not a transformer. It's a director's monitor. This monitor is really, really cool. And full disclosure, Osee did send this monitor out to me. I do get to keep it and it has no impact on what I'm going to say. And just like most of my reviews, I'm using this on paid client work. Now, as well as that, I should say I'm not a videographer. So there's a lot of features that are on this are above my remit of use, but they could be useful for you. So we'll go through what I found on this. Build quality, it's built like a tank. It has a plastic bezel to the front, but it's a full metal construction. And you can see it has a nice heavy duty handle here as well. If we look on the back, we have a cheese plate where you can mount things. You can actually remove that and move it into different positions, and they're marked on the back of the monitor. Then underneath the branding, you've got SDI ins and outs. You've got an HDMI and a USB-C port labeled calibrate. So this has a built-in calibrator system already into it. So you just need the physical calibrator plugged in and it'll self-calibrate. Over on this side here, you can see you've got the power port for your V-mount, which has already been plugged in. You don't have to do anything. Underneath that is then a main power switch. And then at the very back is the C-stand mount, which I thought was really cool to have it fully integrated into it, which means this has been built for purpose for being on shoot, on the go. So it's not a case that you can kind of use this on shoots. This has been designed that you are going to use this on the go, run and gun, as you would think a director's monitor would be used. If you're enjoying this video, make sure to like and subscribe because it does help me out. On the front then, you've got a headphone jack, and beside that, you've got a USB-A port, and that's for plugging in so you can upload your own LUTs. I wasn't able to upload LUTs onto it because it says in the manual you need it for a U-disc, and I actually don't know what a U-disc is. I was trying to plug in my laptop, and that didn't work, so I'll have to think of something else to try and get LUTs onto it. But you can upload up to 10 LUTs on it, which would be really cool, so you're not trying to guess what your exposure should be. You can actually expose for the LUT. Then you've got a set of buttons. The first one is going to be your source, and that's going to be for selecting your inputs, whether that's going to be the SDIs or the HDMI. And then beside that, you've got F1, 2, 3, and 4 buttons, and they are customizable, and they actually have different sets within the system as well. So not only do you customize the 4, you can actually have them customized in different ways for your different needs, which is really cool, I thought, as well. Then you have the navigation knob where you can click in, twist, and get through your navigation, and a standby button. So although you do have a power button to the back, there is a standby button here at the front. The carry case that comes with this is fantastic. It's not just designed to carry this to location and then sit in a corner, never to be used until you need to take it home. They have a grommet built into it so that you can actually keep the monitor in the case when you put it onto a light stand when you're outdoors. It also has barn doors built into it as well, so you fold them out to get rid of any direct glare onto the screen. Speaking of visibility, 1500 nits. Combine that with the shade and you are good to go in pretty much any condition outdoors. Now the screen has been treated for reflections and has a bit of a matte finish to it. I know it doesn't look like it right now because it's showing the reflection of my kicker right here, the strip box beside me. But as I look at it myself, I'm looking directly at it, and if I tilt and I can see it, it's not that intrusive. It looked worse on camera, but if I sit here and actually line that up right now and I have it right in the middle of my scene, I can see everything. It's a little bit there. Of course, they can't get rid of all reflections, but it does work better than most. I would say the biggest con of this of all is the navigation of the menus. Quite difficult to get through. Even when doing this review, I've gotten myself lost with trying to find So this, oh, God damn it, it's gone again. This has loads of options to go through, and you can see there's a whole host of options here. Like for framing, you've got your aspect, safe, center, crosshatch, anamorphic, exposure, you've got false color, zebra, waveform, vector, histogram, but there's times that you can't find it. So this monitor has 3 custom settings that you can have on it, and you can have all these tools set up in your menu. And I have set 1 done, and I was trying to get into this tool section to show you in the video, and I actually couldn't find where this was. So I had to go into set 2 because that hasn't been set up yet. And while I was going into set 2 to get this, it was then bringing me along the sets as opposed to just going into it. And so it'd be one thing I would say is to change the menu option on it. You can actually set, now I have the zebra lines on there. So if I'm pressing, so I'm in set 2, so I can set on. So here I'm actually just using these buttons to set everything up. So when that's what happens when you go into your sets. You can have it that set 2 has all your color features set up on it. And then you can actually just change into set 1 then. And here you have framing options. So all your custom buttons for framing. Then you want to leave that, and you've got your image composed nicely. You still have your crosshatch coming on, so you can still see your rule of thirds, but you want to see your color, you want to see your waveforms, you want to see your false color and all the rest. So it is really cool that you can have all these sections done and set up, but there is a little bit of getting used to how the navigation is done with it. And I'd say it's because it's not touchscreen. I am thankful that it's not touchscreen, because you get paw prints on the screen and then it's just like constantly cleaning it. You're constantly cleaning the screen. So it's kind of like one of these things, you know, like, do you want the touchscreen functionality and the easy use of being able to swipe or whatever, but then you've got paw prints all over it. And if you're outdoors and that's all you can see, then you have to go turn off the monitor, clean the monitor, turn the monitor back on. And it's back and forth, and there's no wind to anything. So yeah, I think they just need to have a look. I think they need to bring in maybe an extra feature, maybe like a button here for bringing out the side menu, as well as that having the navigation. Maybe an extra button somewhere could make the user experience just that little bit better. One of the great features is the D-Log, because it's taking you to a nice preview. So it's kind of similar to what you'd see on your camera. There's nothing worse that I find is that I have gamma assist on the camera and then I bring it onto a monitor and it doesn't transfer it, even when you transfer the full controls. So you have all the controls of the camera on the monitor, but the gamma assist doesn't translate across. I don't understand that. I really don't understand that at all. And that's not just this monitor, that's every monitor I've ever used. It's a frustration of mine. D-Log on this, sorted. And that brings me to the colors. 10-bit color. The color in this is really accurate. I haven't bothered calibrating it because I haven't found the need to calibrate it. It is fine out of the box. I find it more accurate than my MacBook laptop, my MacBook Pro 13-inch. So from everything from the build quality to the case, the extra features to have in it, the V-mount battery, the light stand adapter built into it, all of that says to me that this is built for the professionals. This may go over some people's price point, and I think for a lot of professionals, this falls very much into their price point. If you compare against other monitors, computer monitors, at this level of color accuracy and matte finished glass and all the rest, and a shade coming onto it, you're talking 12 to 1,800 euro. This is sitting in at 960, so it is very affordable when you compare against the other monitors that are being used. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you got something from it. If you did, give the video a like, maybe subscribe to my channel and ring that bell to get notified every time I post up a new video. Find me on all the social medias on the Mark Duffy Photography, and until the next time, later gators.